Do you get that queasy pit in the stomach feeling when you think about closing on a sales call? Yep, it can get to the best of us, my friend. In this video, I'm going to share 4 simple steps that lead you to an authentic and easy close that will have you rethinking the dreaded close for good. Hey, I'm Jessie, and I help small business owners increase their sales conversions and their confidence without being pushy or feeling yucky. If you haven't subscribed yet, hit that subscribe button and the bell so that you get notified every time I upload new tips that help you increase that sales conversion with confidence and ease. Throughout the years, so many people have asked me what the secret is to closing a sale, and I get it. When I was new to the sales world, it had me feeling queasy and uneasy as well. But it's really so much simpler than you think, and so I'm really excited to be sharing these tips with you today. So what is it about closing that makes everyone feel so uncomfortable and nervous? Well, it's simple, really. We feel that there's so much riding on that part of the conversation. Will we get a new client today or not? So it's natural to feel nervous, but does what you say have to be pushy or feel yucky? Not at all. So stick with me to the very end of this video so you can follow the process of bringing the conversation to a very natural close where you feel comfortable and your potential client doesn't feel pressured or manipulated, which would create resistance to them buying from you. For the closing of the sale to happen in a very natural way, the conversation up to that point of closing should flow in a very natural way as well, right? Makes sense. And if steps are missing, it's going to be very difficult to ask for the sale. So let's start at the very beginning and quickly go through how this conversation should go. Step 1 is the introduction. Now, your introduction really doesn't need an explanation. This is the first time where you'll really be meeting your potential client face to face. And remember that first impressions are made very quickly, within seconds really. So you want to be yourself, be on time, be warm, and make your client feel comfortable. This is like meeting a friend for coffee, easy and conversational. Yes, you're going to need to make a little bit of small talk, but this does not need to be long or drawn out. It's simply to put your client at ease. Step 2 is setting the agenda for the call. From the introduction, it's time to transition to setting the agenda for the call. You do this because your client doesn't know what to expect, so it's really just a matter of being considerate that you outline how the call will flow. Remember, your potential client is also watching you to see how you're handling this call, and it is somewhat of an interview of you to see how you're going to be to work with. Are you handling the call with care and respecting their needs, or are you being self-serving and pushing solely for the sale? When you outline how the call will go, this continues to build trust with your potential client and put them at ease. This is really important for setting a positive tone and creating very good energy for the way the rest of the conversation will flow. Step 3 is the client needs assessment. Once you've explained how the call will go, you transition into the client needs assessment. Your goal with this step of the conversation is to get a very clear picture in your head of where they are now and what their ideal end goal looks like. This is crucial for you to understand to know if your offer can help them. Do you have a match or do you not have a match? If you don't have a match, there's no need to move on to closing this particular customer because if you do, you're going to have one unhappy client. But if your offer does solve their needs, this is where you transition into the next step of the conversation. Are you following me? Is this making sense? If so, hit that like button. And I'm curious, what's your favorite question to ask a potential client in the needs assessment step of the conversation? I'm going to drop my favorite question in the comments below, but I'd love to see your favorite question in the comments as well. Okay, so you've finished the client needs assessment. Where do you go from here? Well, step 4 is the introduction of your offer. So the client has just shared with you their current situation and what their ideal outcome looks like. So you need to be sharing with them what your offer provides. What do you do and how does your offer help them? Share stories of similar clients who have also worked with you and what their end results looked like. Sharing high-level details about your offer is critical because otherwise your client won't know what they're signing up for. When you share stories of other client successes, it shows this potential client that they are not alone, that there are others who have traveled the same path and seen great results working with you. And guess what? During these last two phases of the conversation, both the client's needs assessment and the introduction of your offer, you are continuing to put the client at ease and building your trust with them. Okay, step number 5, the close, asking for the sale. Okay, so you've gone through the client needs assessment and you've shared a high-level overview of your offer. So ta-da, here we are at the close. Hold on tight, because here is the secret to closing. Just ask them, what do you think? It's as simple as that. That's right. So after you've shared the high-level overview of your offer and shared stories about clients who have seen success who were similar to this potential client, all you have to do is ask them what they think. Simple, end of story, but then you need to be quiet and let them answer. This might be the trickiest part. Because silence is awkward and we want to fill it with something. So we have a tendency to just jump in if the quiet goes on for too long and we start to ramble. But in starting to talk at this point, we cut off our client's abilities to answer, and it's like we let our own insecurities start to slide out in the conversation. We start to lose them at this point because we take the conversation away from them buying. Get it? So imagine something like this. You ask your client, so what do you think? And the quiet stretches on. So you start to fill in with words. Yeah, well, I know it's a big time commitment, but I could throw in this extra offer and, maybe we can start a little bit sooner than we were originally discussing because that might help you out a little bit. And we start to ramble and the conversation starts to degrade. So you really have to stop yourself from saying anything. Pinch your leg, bite your tongue, whatever you need to do. Ask, so what do you think? And let the quiet be. If the quiet goes on and the client really is just not saying anything, you can say something like this. Listen, I appreciate that this is a tough decision. I get it. But I'm just really curious if you think what I've talked about sounds like it would help you. I have certainly seen many success stories from people who are in your same shoes, but I just want to know what you think about it. This should prompt the client to start sharing with you their thoughts. So congratulations, you've just completed the big close. You've asked for the sale, and it was pretty natural and pretty simple. Of course, after you've asked them what they think, they may have questions and objections that you need to work through. No worries, because I have another video on the secret of handling sales objections where I can give you guidance on that right here. But when you follow this process for the sales conversation, it's the most natural thing in the world to ask the customer for the sale by asking, what do you think? And when you approach closing without those nerves and stress, your confidence and your energy comes from a totally different place, and your clients will feel it 100%. They feel your confidence and they like that. It conveys to them that you are someone they can trust. And in the world of sales, that takes you a very long way to gaining a new client today. Now, if you want guidance on how to close more sales with confidence and ease, I'd love to help. One of my clients recently shared with me that they have increased their sales conversion rate by over 20% in the 3 short months of working with me. This has more than doubled their sales for this month, and they still have more sales calls booked and more weeks of the month to go. So this could take their sales through the roof this month, which is really exciting to see. So reach out to me in the link in the video description below so we can have a chat about how to make sales easier, more fun, and way more easier to convert. And if you like this video and think you might try this closing technique on your next sales call, hit the subscribe button and the bell. And friends, I look forward to seeing you next week with more tips on keeping you out of the pushy and pressure-filled sales zone. I'll see you then.